So once again, good morning. Nice to see you again. So the idea today is to finish the review of Unit 10 and then started Unit 11 with an important topic that is called passive voice. Sometimes passive voice could be difficult, but actually it's an easy topic. But we need to pay attention and practice. So let's start. I'm going to share my screen. So we finished this review, right? This was what we worked yesterday. So let me check. Okay, we did this. This was the last exercise we did yesterday. So let's continue since here. So let me check. Oh my gosh. What was I? Sorry, I moved too fast. Okay, so here, vocabulary exercise. So the idea here is to show the correct word. This is just vocabulary. So, for example, Jonathan, could you read and choose the first one?
Yeah, okay. The first one, the second.
Okay, sorry, a second.
Yeah, okay. Last week, I was
Cooking.
cooking,
Mhm.
cooking, and I had a really,
You have three options, right?
Mister, what is the meaning of cooking?
Tosiendo.
Ah, okay, cool. I was cooking. I
You have
had a really, sore.
throat. Sore
Okay,
throat. You're right.
so
Dolor de
yeah.
garganta, right? Sore throat. Thank you, Jonathan. Well done. Number three, Miss Enrique, please.
And number three, in last night's football match, Brazil won
Mm.
uh,
The United States, 6-0, right? The score.
the United States, but beat and drew is the pass of
Okay, beat could be vencer, but no, don't apply to sports, right? Or this kind of sport. En
and draw.
portugués,
What I mean?
empató. That's the past of draw. And draw have
Ah,
different meanings. Draw, for example, dibujar. Draw could be robar una carta, jalar una carta, draw. Could be empatar, draw.
okay.
Okay, and
Is
this is the password.
the answer is beat?
Won, in this case. We use
One,
beat
one.
for football.
Three, three.
6-0, okay?
Okay, yes.
Let me check something. Mr.
One.
Javier arrived, so let me. Okay, yeah. He's ready. Good morning, Mr. Javier. Mr. Javier,
Oh,
nice to see you.
fine.
Okay,
Uh,
that's good.
Ready.
Okay, here we continue practicing the real review of Unit 10. So in these exercises, we need to read the sentences and choose the correct option. This is just vocabulary. So could you help us with number 4, please?
I was practicing hitting the ball with a baseball. Baseball. Baseball bat.
Ba. Thank you so much. Racket is for tennis. Nest is like malla. It could be for volleyball or something like that. Basketball, right? Or volleyball, right?
Okay.
A match. Okay. Jonathan, number 5, please.
Sofia is a good. What is the meaning of jogging, Mister?
O saltando, de esos saltos.
Okay, so that option.
Okay.
Sophia is jogging, especially the long jump and the 100 meters.
Interest. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Good job. Mr. Enrique, next one. This is easy.
See, number six, if I have a headache, I usually take a pill with a glass of water.
Okay, good job. Thank you. Now the last one, Mr. Javier.
Okay. After I fell,
Off.
I fell off my bike. I had a big purple bruise flew the side of my leg. I fell off of my bike. Uh, what's the meaning bruise? Bruce,
Un
Bruce.
golpe, el morado que queda después de un golpe.
Okay,
Una
and
pregunta.
I big girl, Bruce.
Okay, for sure. In this case, for example, if you don't know the meaning of this, I know you know flu is, what's the meaning of flu?
Gripe.
Grip,
Gripe, okay. And disease is,
comfort.
so just with this, you know that the correct option is this, right? If you're presenting an exam, you know some of the word, but there's an unknown word, you can use the context to try to find out the meaning of the noun word, right? Entonces, si no conocen el significado de alguna palabra, pero conocen la mayoría del texto, pueden tratar de darle un significado a la palabra desconocida con el contexto. Thank you, well done. This is easy, right? So let's continue. What happened here? So now, let me check. So, the idea is to read the email below from Shane and choose the correct answer. These are the options, right? So, let me tell you something about myself. First one, we need to choose an option. So, C. I was born in Hong Kong, but now I live in Singapore. One of the most amazing things about Singapore is the variety of, Jonathan,
Uh, variety of food.
let me check. Are you sure? So notice, you need to read the rest of the sentences before to decide. And other places to eat out. So, what do you think? Places
What
to
is the
eat
meaning of
out.
plates?
Plates, platos. Pero el plato en que sirven comida.
Ah,
Sí,
ok, que sirven
plato sin
comida.
comida, el plato en que se pone la comida.
Okay, restaurants.
Restaurants, good job. The clue here is places to eat out. In which places you eat out? In a restaurant. Thank you, Jonathan. Mr. Enrique, could you continue, please?
Eh, ¿Dónde quedamos?
Here, you can
Ah,
eat
yeah, you can eat in expensive restaurant or cheap
cheap. Thank you so much. Cheap street
street
food.
foods market where they could prepare your food in front of you.
Okay, Mr. Javier, could you continue number 4, please?
Okay, my favorite dish is chicken rice. This is boiled chicken.
Okay, thank you so much. Well done. Remember, this is plato, right? Como el plato del menú. Okay, Jonathan, could you do number 5, please?
Okay, and this is boiled chicken. What does it mean of boiled?
Hervido.
Okay, chicken.
So notice, you have relative pronouns. You need to choose the correct one.
Yes. So which?
Which. Thank you. Good job, Jonathan. Congratulations. Okay. Which is served in soft rice with, Miss Enrique, please.
Cucumber. And if you prefer to eat at home, there are uh, plenty of market for you to buy your own meat, fish, fruit,
Could
and
be, but
vegetables.
no.
What?
No, that's not
There
the
are
clue.
plenty of,
The clue here is this, meat.
okay,
Which place do you buy meat, Mr. Enrique?
meat, comida.
Meat, carne.
Ah, carne.
In which place?
Are plenty of
How do you say
uh,
carnicería in English?
butcher.
Butcher. Thank you so much.
Butcher.
Good. Okay, but this is, no, butcher is carnicero. Butcher is carnicería. So it could be market, right? In a market. Thank you. Meat, fish, fruits, and vegetable. Thank you so much. Well done. Sorry, I read bakery, butchery, but butchery is carnicero. So you're right, in a market. Thank you so much. So let's check this. Okay, this is the last one. Because we need to study today passive voice. That's an important topic. So complete the sentences using the correct form of have to something done. Use the correct tense and the object pronoun. So my uncle didn't have time to wash his car before my cousin wedding. So he had his car washed at the garage. So what verb times is this? Sorry.
Pasado.
Past simple. Thank you so much. So next one, Mr. Javier, go ahead, number 2.
My sister tried to cut her on her, but I looked terrible, so she went to her hairdresser too. She went to the hairdresser too. Um, she just about her, but I looked terrible, so she went to her too. Ooh. Okay. Mm,
You can do it.
she she will have she will have it.
Okay, so notice this is all of this verb tried, okay, tried, and when is in this verse? Are
Pasado.
in past simple. So, as here, she had, right? What
She
else?
had she has
Had,
uh,
past, had.
she had hair court
Her, the object,
hair
her,
hair
her
hair
hair,
hair good.
good. Thank you, well done, Mr. Javier. That's correct. Next one, Jonathan.
We wanted to have
Wanted, wanted.
wanted to have a photo of the whole class, so we had
Have.
yeah had a photo maybe by a professional photographer.
We had a
Yeah, we
photo,
had a photo.
okay, of the old classes wanted, right, by a professional photographer. So remember, the subject, then the verb, the causative verb had, right? Then the object, a photo of the whole class. Then the verb wanted, and this by a professional photographer, right? Thank you.
Okay.
Number 4, Mr. Enrique, go ahead.
We live on the
9.
ninth floor and we can't clean the window ourselves because it's dangerous. Once a month we
We?
had
No. What verb tense is this, Mr. Enrique? Once a
once
month. This is a
a
clue.
month. Okay, once a month we have
Have.
have
This is
uh,
present simple.
yes, we have cleaned the windows by a professional.
No, first of all, the object. Primero el objeto. So,
Okay,
we
we
have
have the
our
windows cleaned by
cleaner.
a professional.
Okay, thank you so much. Well done. And the last one, Mr. Javier.
When I had problem with my bike, I tried to repair it with my friend, but we couldn't. In the end, I have
Have. This is past,
I
right? All of this is
yes,
past. Had, tried, past simple. So I had
I have I have bike fixed.
my bike fixed. Thank you so much. Well done. Okay. Now, the idea is to start with a new topic. You need 11. But first of all, I'm going to take the attendance before I forget. So give me a moment. Do you remember Passive Voice? You studied at A2 level, no?
What you say, mister?
Do you remember about Passive Voice?
Acid Boys.
We studied at A2 level. Okay, now
Let
what?
me see.
Let's review this. This is one of the latest topic in A2. So welcome to Unit 11. So environment and passive voice. So allow me to open the book to show you this page. I'm sorry. Mm, yeah. Page 96. So let's check. So you're watching the book, right? The students, are you watching the book, My Screen? I'm sharing the...
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Oh, this is Unit 11. So it started with the environment. So let's check. Working pairs, which environment issues? Do you know the meaning of issues? Do you know?
No.
Okay, es como asuntos. Okay, so which environmental issues does each photo 1 to 5 shows? So what about, let's check the images first of all. So we have image number 1. What is this? What do you think? This one.
Is
A bottle of water in the sands of beach.
At the beach, right? So this is a dirty beach. This is trash. Okay,
Trash.
what about number 2?
Mm,
Piece
Mm,
of watermelon.
Watermelon.
Maybe in the market. Could be. I don't know.
Yes, with plastic forks, right?
Yeah.
Tenedores plásticos. What about number 3?
a tree. Trees.
Forestation, right?
Forest.
Okay, what about letter A,
Fruits.
fruits. Thank you
Fruits.
so much. What about letter B?
A full car fuel.
Gasoline station.
Gas station, right, you're right.
Station.
Letter C,
It's a chicken.
and
Farm.
a hen, right?
A
Like a
farm.
farm, could be.
Farm.
Letter D,
A bottle.
A plastic
Turn.
aluminum.
a bottle of water, right? Something like that. Letter E,
Is
Table. iPad. Could be.
a
timetable or
tablet.
tablet.
Okay, letter D, what is number 4?
Industry.
Sorry.
Industry.
Industry, pollution, right? Notice the smoke. And number 5,
Chicken.
chickens. So, which environment issues that each photos 1 to 5 shows? So, it says the first one, plastic waste. Do you know the meaning of waste?
Basura.
No. El gasto, el mal gasto.
Desperdicio.
Sí, como el desperdicio. Entonces, el desperdicio, el uso excesivo del plástico. Pollution, the water, and harming sea creature. So, pollution means contaminación, right? Contaminación del agua. And harming sea creature. What is the meaning of harming?
I don't know.
Let me think. It's just related to the health. Let me think. Daño would be peligroso para las criaturas marinas, ¿ok? Okay. Number 4, it says, show something you can do to help. So, for example, carry your own bottled water, right? Like this. I'm sorry. I went to like this. Instead of using plastic bottles, try to use your own bottle, right? To avoid wasting plastic material. Feel it's time you go out. It means llenarla cada que vayan afuera, right? Choose two problems and think of more ways to can help. So recycling plastic bottles. Do you recycle at home, students?
Yes, I recycle.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Congratulations. That's really important. Pick up rubbish on the beach. What's the meaning of rubbish? This one.
Caucho.
Basura.
Oh.
It's another way to say basura. So pick up, recoger la basura en la playa. Please avoid to throw rubbish or trash to the street, right? Keep it with you until you find a bin of trash. Okay. Working part discuss the question. Apart the issues 1 to 5 about which of the environment problems are there in your country? What kind of people do about them? So, for example, Jonathan, tell me about issues, environment problems are in your country. Are there in your country?
And my country could be, let me see, who is that? Fires, you know? Fires maybe in, I don't know, maybe, no sé, como en cerros.
Okay, guess it's wildfire. Then let me check. That's like incendio forestal, right?
Mhm. Yeah, forestal fires could be.
Let me check. Actually, I'm not sure about that. I'm almost sure I read forest fire. Forest fire.
Forest fire. Okay.
Okay, because
I
of
think that,
the hot water, right?
yeah, I think that this is a really big problem in this country.
My gosh, a really big. Okay, a troubled one. What about you, Mr. Enrique? Issues or other environment problems in your country?
In my country, people tirar la basura en la calle, ¿cómo es?
Throw
Eh, throw the
the rubbish or the trash.
rubbish on the streets,
That's so sad.
especially in the night.
So bad. Mr.
It's a
Javier,
problem.
what can people do about that, about them, about these problems? You mentioned it. What do you think?
To practice recyclage for uh, one person at home and in your work. I could be.
Yes. Thank you. Jonathan, what do you think about forest fire? What the
Forest fire.
government does about that?
Uh, I was hearing that is is caused by someone that maybe borracho, algún borracho?
Drunk. Drunk.
Yeah, a drunk, maybe for any reason, but uh, it's really bad because that makes more hot, maybe hot could be the correct word, um, the environment. So I think that's really bad.
That's a big issue. Oh my God, people is so bad, so cruel.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's continue. So it says, complete the new article with the nouns from the verbs from the box, right? This some point, explore, improve, inform, embed. So let's check. Scientists use robot chicks to study penguins. So scientists in Antarctica, let me try to zoom this. Can zoom this. Why? Okay. Scientists in Antarctica have used a new invention. So the idea is this is called nominalization. Sorry, we turn these nouns, I know, this other thing. We need to turn this, okay, see, nominalization. We need to turn these verbs into nouns. Okay, so, sorry, it's because I did some. To help them study penguins, close a 3D robot on wires that look like a baby penguin. The robot, similar to those, is those used in the, what do you think, Mr. Enrique? Let's check the word.
Mm, Explorer.
Let's check. Used in the moon and Mars. No.
No, Sería
Okay,
sería
yes, is explorer,
the
but you need to change the word. For example, look here, invent, change to invention.
invention.
So this is the invent is the verb and invention is the noun. Nominalization. Nominalization means turns other kind of word to nouns. Okay? Cambiar otro tipo de palabras en sustantivos. So, for
Okay.
example, explore is a verb. You need to turn
Exploring.
exploring. Right.
Exploring.
Exploring. Okay, next one. Mr. Javier, please. Of the moon and Mars provide a lot of exciting new
New, new inform,
inform. You need to turn inform is a verb. You need to turn
inform,
it into noun.
inform about the birds.
No, you need to change the word. The word inform is a verb. You need to turn it a noun. Necesitas convertirla en un sustantivo. Informar. ¿Cuál
Inform.
puede ser el sustantivo de informar?
Inform.
Informa.
Describe
No, información. So, information.
information.
This is not easy. This topic is kind of weird. Exploration. In this case, exploration. Because there's no rules. Okay, o sea, para este tema no hay reglas. Uno tiene que saber cuál es el verbo y cuál es el sustantivo que corresponde a ese verbo. So,
Mm,
but most of them, notice we just add I-O-N at the end. Invent, invention. Explore, exploration. Inform, information, right?
mm,
Okay, let's continue, Jonathan. About the bird, scientists working some distance away control every
Every uh, move could be movement.
movement. Good
Yeah,
job. So
movement.
notice there's no a rule. There's no a rule. It's changed completely in comparison to this, right? We need to know the noun. Okay, good job, Jonathan. Well done. Then, Mr. Enrique, could you continue reading this, please?
The robot made and it was immediately accepted by penguin
Penguin.
penguin families as one of them. The adults even sang to it. So the penguins read uh, uh, improving.
Okay, we already use explore, inform, and move. So we have improve or disappointed. So let's check. What's the meaning of
Penguin read
improve? Do you remember, Miss Enrique?
improve. ¿Cómo es? Improve es mejorar.
Mejorar. But so
Sí.
don't make
Im-
sense this.
¿Cómo se llama? Improvement.
Improvement in this case. This
Improvement
word changed to improvement. But
Improvement.
in this case,
is disappointed.
disappointed, right? So it is disappointed. Like this. Disappointed. The baby didn't reply. Okay, Mr. Javier, the last one.
Science are now working on a new model with one important improvement.
Improve, improvement. Okay, we'll be able to play Penguin's song. Thank you so much. This is called nominalization, but in the book it's just show this exercise. So, nominalization means to change another word into noun. O sea, cambiar una palabra, un verbo, un adjetivo en un sustantivo. No hay reglas para eso. O sea, si nos dicen, ¿cuál es el sustantivo de move? lo tenemos que conocer. Move, movement, ¿cierto? Move, mover, es un verbo. ¿Cuál es el sentido de mover? Movimiento, ¿cierto? Es algo que tenemos que saber. Explore, the verb explore, explorar,
Exploration.
¿dónde es sustantivo? El objeto, exploration, right? Exploración, eso es un sustantivo. So, we can practice this a little bit more next week. So, let me... Okay, here there are some words used with the environment. It's just vocabulary. So, word, pollution, harmful things in the air, water or land. Harmful como peligroso, dañino. Okay? Pollution. Recycling, reusing materials like paper, glass, and plastic. Climate change. This is too important today, right? Long-term change in earth water patterns. Global warming. This is dangerous. Increase in air temperature caused by pollution. We need to avoid pollution, right? Be careful with this. Environment, the nature world around, the air, water, lands, animals, right? All of these are included in environment. Biodiversity, variety of plants and animals in an area. Sustainability, living in a way that doesn't harm the planet. Remember, dañar, doesn't harm the planet. Words or phrases, wildlife, animal living in the nature, significa como vida salvaje, right? No pets or farm animals. Endangered species, animal at risk of disappearing forever. Animales en peligro de extinción. Endangered species. Extincts, an animal species that no longer exist. Habitat, the natural home of an animal or plant. Poaching, illegal hunting or capturing animals. Biodiversity, variety of animals and plants in an ecosystem. Ecosystem, a system where plants, animals, and the environment interact. And I think this is the last one, marine life. Animals that live in the ocean, like fish, whales, and dolphins. What's the meaning of the whales, my dear students?
Ballenas.
Ballenas, thank you so much, Mr. Haya. Invasive species, animals that enter a new area and harm the local environment. So, what is the meaning of harm?
Daño.
Dañino, daño. Thank you so much, Mr. Enrique. Good job. Conservation, the protection of animals and their nature habits. And domesticated animals that live with humans like cats, dogs, and cows. Okay. So far, do you have any question?
No question.
Oh, this is just some vocabulary related to environment, right? Deforestation, cutting down trees, especially in the forest. We need to avoid these, right? Be careful with the deforestation. Sustainable, using resources without harming the future. Greenhouse gases like CO2 that trap heat and cause global warming, calentamiento global. Ecosystem, a community of plants and animals and the environment. Conservation, protecting nature resources and waste, trash or things throwing away. Basura o cosas tiradas, which malgastar, right? So now, let's talk about passive voice, the new topic. What is passive voice? Passive voice, the focus of the action and on who and not on who does it. So, passive voice, focus on the action. It doesn't care who did it. We often use it when the doer, do you know the meaning of doer? El que la hace, como quien hace la acción. Is a noun. So we don't care about who did the action or we don't know. It's a noun. What's the meaning of unknown?
Desconocido.
Desconocido. Thank you so much. Unimportant or obvious. A structure of passive voice present simple. We can use passive voice on all verb tenses. and it has some changes, but for now, present and past simple, just. So notice, this is active voice, the common way we speak or use the sentences. The car, no, sorry, this is passive voice. The car is watched every week. So, by who? Who watched the car? We don't know or we don't care. We can say, I watch the car every week. This is active voice. This is how we regularly do it, right? And when we change it to passive voice, we don't care about I. We can mention it, but it's not important. So we focus in the car. So we say, here, the car is washed, right? Every day, every week. And you can say, you can mention by, you use the preposition by to mention who did, by me. So notice the difference. Here, we started with the subject, the one who do the action. This is active voice. But in the passive voice, we started with the object, the car, right? Sorry, here. The car. So, here there's two important things. The first one is the use of verb to be. Verb to be. And the other one is we use the verb in past participle. Washed. Notice this. So, subject, verb to be, in present simple, because this is present simple. Verb in past participle, and this is the example. The car is watched every week. Letters are, because it's plural, right? Verb to be, sent, past participle. So letters are sent daily. What's the meaning of sent?
Enviar.
Enviar.
Enviar. And in present, how do you type it? Could you spell the word in present, please?
Sent with D.
S-E-N-D.
Then,
Okay, send with it. Good job.
Sent.
So notice, we always use the verb in past participle. Okay, this is passive voice present simple. Present simple, this one. So now passive voice past simple. So, for example, the cake was eaten. The cake was eaten yesterday. The books were found. The books were found in the attic. So, what's the meaning? What's the difference between past simple and simple present? What do you think? Which is the meaning?
change the verb be.
The verb to
Change the
be.
verb
We
be.
change the verb tense of verb to be, just the verb to be. So when we use present simple, verb to be goes in present. When we use past simple, the verb to be goes in past simple, right? And the main verb always goes in past participle, always. So remember, we need to use verb to be plus verb in past participle. And we started with the object. The object is the one who received the action, right? Por ejemplo, ¿qué se lava? El carro. ¿Qué se envía? Las cartas. ¿Qué se comió? ¿Quién recibe la acción de comer? El pastel. ¿Qué encontraron? El libro. Miren que no se menciona quién lo hizo, sino quién lo recibe, quién recibe esa acción. Igualmente podemos mencionar quién lo hizo si sabemos y lo queremos hacer agregando by y después la persona. ¿Ok? At the end. But it's not mandatory. Okay, let's try. So, let's do this. Grammar reference. The passive, present, and simple. Present simple and past simple. This is passive, the passive voice. Look at the sentence A-D and answer the question. This is new technology, reduce air pollution. Air pollution is reduced by this new technology. So notice this is in present simple. The new technology is third person, is if. So we have S. And in passive voice, we started with. air pollution, because it's the one who received this action, is verb to be in present, reduced, past participle of the verb by the new technology. The guys allowed the tourists to take photos. So notice, the tourists were allowed, here is past simple, so verb to be in past simple, allowed is past perfect, to take photos. Okay, which sentences are active and which are passive? So, Jonathan, which sentences are active?
Okay. Active letter D. The tourists were allowed
So,
to take
active,
photos.
remember active is how we commonly write. Active.
Active is not when subject maybe me or whatever thing started or do the
Yes,
action
but in this
in the
No,
case,
start.
tour is not the subject, it's the
Mm,
object.
okay, so the guys allow
The
it to
guy, this is
tourists.
active, this is an active.
Okay,
And what else? The missing one.
okay. Air pollution.
No, air pollution is object, the object. Why do
Okay,
you know is the object? Because is the one who received the action, reduce. Who received the action of reduce? The air pollution. So, and
so
who do this?
this new technology.
This new technology.
Okay,
Be careful with that. So remember, the object is the one, is the person, is the thing who received the action, and the subject is the one who do the action. In this case, who do the reduction? The new technology. Who allowed tourists to take photos? The guides. Who received this permission? Allowed means permitted. Who received this permission? The tourists. Who received the reduction? The air pollution. Okay, it is clear. Yes, Mr.
yeah,
Enrique, Mr. Javier, Jonathan.
yeah.
yes, so yeah, acknowledge. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. It's important to have this clear. Okay, let's continue. Sorry. Which two sentences describe an event in the past, Mr. Enrique?
Which two sentences declare a event in the past? Uh, the letter B and letter D.
Letter D,
B,
correct? And
letter B and D.
no, B is in present.
No, letter D.
D and
Past, letter C.
C. Thank you so much. Well done. I know this verb is in past participle.
Past,
That's because it's passive voice. But this is in present. You need to
present.
check the verb to be. Okay, verb to be is in present, so this is present. Here, verb to be is in past, so this is past. Okay, good job. Okay, Mr. Javier, it says, which two sentences use a form of verb to be in the past participle of the verb?
Mm,
Use verb to be and the past participle of the verb.
mm, which two sentences use the form of be and the past participle? Okay, initial pollution, the letter B,
Right.
letter D.
Thank you so much. Well done. Congratulations. Jonathan, next one. It says, what is the subject and what is the object in A? How B is different. So, what is the subject here in this first one? The subject, the one who do the action.
This the new technology.
New technology. Good
Okay.
job. And which is the object?
Sub object is air pollution.
Air pollution. Good job. Well done, Jonathan. Thank you so much. So, how is B different?
In the sentence B, change the order and air pollution is and start with a subject in letter B.
No, this is the air pollution is the sorry. Air pollution
Okay,
is
this is the option.
the
The
object.
yeah,
And we
object.
finish with so and
With the
notice
subject.
in passive voice when we mention the subject we use the preposition by always. Notice here by this new technology. This is the subject. Thank you, Jonathan. Well done. Okay, Mr. Enrique. What is
Yes.
the subject and what is the object in C? How is the different?
The letter C, the subject is the guys,
The guys, good job.
and the subject is
The object. This is the
the
subject.
see subject is the guys, and the object is take the photos.
No.
The tourist
Why? Remember, which is the action here? Allowed.
allow,
¿Cierto?
yes,
Permitir. Who received that action? The tourist.
the tourist,
The one who received the action is the object. Good job.
yes.
How? How is different from the?
The difference is the tourist is the object in the letter D, and the subject is take photos.
No, here there is no
Who?
subject. Remember, it's not mandatory to include the subject. No es obligatorio mencionar el sujeto. So notice, here is the subject. It's introduced with the
Okay,
preposition by, but it's not mandatory. Here they decided to not to mention. Acá no lo mencionaron. So
okay,
it's just mentioning the object. The subject is not mentioned. Okay,
okay.
Mr. Enrique, thank you so much.
Mhm.
No worries. We're just starting this topic, okay? No worries
Okay.
about that. Okay, and the last one, Mr. Javier. What information is in the sentence C, but not in D? I just answered.
Mm, yeah, the guys allowed to the tourists to take photos. The tourists will allow it to take. The information is the guys now allow it.
So it's missing the subject. Here is missing the subject. He doesn't mention the subject, right? Remember, in passive voice is not mandatory. But if you want to do it, you can do it by using the preposition by. You can say the tourists were allowed to take photos by the guides. Okay? Okay, good job. Do you have any questions so far? It look confused, but it's easy. Trust me, this is an easy topic.
A little bit.
Yeah, but it's easy for sure. When we practice enough, it will be so
Practice.
easy. So let's complete these rules with active and passive voice. We often find passive voice in informal tests like news, reports, and textbooks. So this is common in news or magazine of that kind of text, right? It's written. Okay. But anyway, it's important to identify passive voice. In sentences, we always use the past participle for of the verb. Jonathan, in passive or
In
active?
let me see. In sentence, we always use the past simple. Is active,
Always
passive.
use the past participle. So remember, passive. In passive, we use verb to be plus the past participle form of the verb. Always. This is mandatory. Always. Past participle form of the verb in passive voice. Okay, Jonathan, no
Okay.
worries. Thank you. Number three, Miss Enrique, we often use
We
the
often use when we were speaking with. We often use the by when we are speaking or writing information letters.
we often use passive or active.
No, it's present and active.
So often use when we are speaking or written informal letters. So this is Passive, right?
Active. Passive.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Javier, please.
Okay, we use the when focus on the verb with active uh,
Active.
when we
You're right.
focus on who or what did an action.
Right, so remember, active is focused on who or what did the action. We care about this. Entonces, el active es cuando nos concentramos en quién hace la acción o qué la hace, ¿cierto? Esto es active. Ok, we use, Jonathan,
We use when we focus on the action rather than who or what did. Uh, um, uh, uh, is active, passive.
pass. Okay, let's check the difference. So it says, notice, we use active when we focus on who or what did the action, right? Active. We use passive when we focus on the action. Notice the difference. Who or what did. Focus on the action
On the
rather
action. Okay.
than who or what did it, right? We don't care about who in passive. Okay, thank you, Jonathan. No worries. And Miss Enrique,
We can add by plus noun if it is important to say who or what did it. In
good
the
job.
passive, we often leave this out.
You're on fire. Good job. You got it. Thank you so much, Miss Enrique. That's correct. So, let's try. The best way to learning is to practicing. Complete the sentences in present or past passive form of the verb in brackets. In brackets mean parentheses. So, for example, sorry, need to. Okay, that's better. It says the mountain road is not used in winter. When was the island discovered? The island discovered. So, I want to go to the Natural History Museum, but Mr. Javier,
The view. mm, uh, it's letter 3,
three.
right?
Yes, you're right.
I wanted to go to Natural History Museum, but
But
uh,
it.
uh, I wanted to go to Natural History Museum, but
So I'm going to give you two clues. The first one is this
closet.
past, right? This is
Pass.
past simple. And it refers to museum. This is the object. We already started with the object. So after the object, we use
Uh, past perfect.
no, it's missing something.
Uh, it was. It
Was.
was. It
Now,
was a closet.
good job, Mr. Javier. You got it. Well done. Thank you so much. Jonathan, let's try.
Okay.
It says,
The view don't the valley. What is the meaning of a spoil?
let me think. I'm not sure about that. It sounds familiar. Spoil. I'm sure I see that in a game. Spoil. What's the meaning of spoil? Let me check. Actually, I don't know. Spoil. Spoil meaning could be arruinar.
Or arruinar? Okay.
And
So the view down the valley. Uh. Uh.
te
Is
arruinó. Yes.
spoiled. Is it spoiled?
So, so the view down the valley. This is the object.
Okay.
So
So.
after the
Uh.
object, you use
Verb to be
verb to be. So this is past or present. What do you think?
is past.
Past. So verb to be goes in past. So the valley
Were spoiled.
Was, because it's just one.
Was okay. Was
Was
spoiled
spoiled. Okay,
when they built the motorway.
thank you so much. The motorway is mean el camino para la
Autopista.
bicicleta, ¿cierto? Okay, la pista.
Okay.
Good job. Thank you so much. Well done, Jonathan. You got it. Miss Enrique, next one, please.
The climate change,
Climate change. Climate.
climate change, blame is, what is the meaning of blame?
Culpa.
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 Right.
Claim change by blame.
No. Climate change is the object. After
Object.
the object, we use verb to be.
The verb to be is
But
blame.
is
Blame mean
blame it.
blame it for the lack. What is the meaning lack?
Falta
Falta.
o
Falta de lluvia.
necesidad de algo. En este caso,
The
falta
lack
de
of
lluvia.
rain this year. Okay. Is
Thank you,
blame
Miss Enrique. You did
for
it
lack.
well. The last one, Mr. Javier, please.
I think it's a present simple for the rocks in the water aren't noticed until the bus was near the cliff.
Okay, notice here. This is
Oh, wow, this is past simple.
so
So rocks in the water weren't noticed.
weren't noticed, right? Until the boat was near the cliff. Okay, good job. Well done. Let's try to do this last exercise. So, write passive sentence beginning with the okay. Write passive sentence begin with the underlying word and only use by where necessary. For example, those machine waste a lot of electricity. So a lot of electricity is wasted by those machines. Number 2, Jonathan, let's try to do this. Turn this active to passive. So
Okay. Is near the trees.
you started with the
Okay.
underline word. Con la
Okay.
palabra que está. Este es el objeto. Se los dieron ya. The object is underlined.
Yeah.
So,
Two giraffes.
giraffe.
Giraffes. Near the trees.
No, it's missing verb to be.
Okay.
Always after the object,
Yeah, it's verb to
use
be.
verb to be.
Yeah. Is in past, right?
In past. So,
Okay. So, where?
where,
Where?
now the verb,
Where? Saw.
in past participle. Which is the past participle of see? Seen.
Seen. Yeah, seen.
Near the tree.
Seen near the trees
By people, if you want to say.
by people. Yeah, by
Okay.
people.
Now, I know I know it's confused, but trust me, when you got it, it's become easy. Number 2, Miss Enrique.
The moon
The moon.
is the moon.
The
The
moon.
moon is hidden by one small cloud.
This is past.
Yes,
It's past.
hidden.
So,
The
the
moon
moon
had
was
hidden,
you right?
was hidden
Hidden
by one small cloud.
by one small cloud.
A small
Okay,
cloud.
thank you so much, Miss Enrique. Well done. Good job. Congratulations. Mr. Javier, next one.
Follow cars in the national park.
So,
The cars were
this is present.
they
No,
don't
this is auxiliary for present
present.
simple.
The cars aren't
Aren't because it's negative.
aren't okay. The cars aren't allowed in the national park.
Awesome. That's all. So, that's all for today. It's 9 o'clock. We need to stop. But no worries. Next week we will start reviewing this topic, practicing a lot. I'm sure you're going to master this topic easily. It's not that hard. The clue is to identify the subject, identify the object, and identify subject, object, the verb tense, and the verb, the main verb, right? As you identify the verb tense, you know in which verb to be has to go, right? As you identify the main verb, you need to conjugate it in past participle. And if you identify the subject and the object, now you know which one who had to start the sentences. So you start with the object, verb to be, past participle of the main verb, and the rest of the sentences. Okay? So if you have any question, think about and ask me on Monday. Thank you for coming. Take care and have a nice day. A happy weekend. Oh my gosh, it's almost weekend. Remember to the
Long
homework.
weekend.
I already uploaded the homework in the platform.
Thank you, mister.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you too. Bye bye. Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for